Ίσως κάνω εγώ την πρώτη ερώτηση. Υπάρχει κάποιος ή κάποια στο κοινό που θα ήθελε να απευθύνει μια ερώτηση τώρα, αυτή τη στιγμή? Ή μήπως να ξεκινήσω με κάτι για να αρχίσουμε να ζητανόμαστε. Και μάλιστα να τονίσω ότι μαζί μας, πέρα από τους τρεις ομιλητές μας, υπάρχει και ο Design Director της Mirum. Είναι ο κύριος Ρέλια Ραντοσάβλεβιτς, ο οποίος όμως δεν μιλάει ελληνικά. Οπότε, εάν κάνω κάποια ερώτηση, ίσως η πρώτη ερώτηση που θέλω να κάνω απευθύνεται και σε αυτόν. Εάν θέλει, μπορεί να μιλήσει, αλλά θα πρέπει να την κάνω και στα αγγλικά. Η ερώτηση λοιπόν είναι η εξής. Προς τον Δημήτρη, ως αρχιτέκτονες η Omniview παραλάβατε από τη Mirum ένα brief. Αυτό που λέμε οι οδηγίες του τι θέλουμε να μας σχεδιάσεις. Έχει έρθει η στιγμή δηλαδή που έχουμε επιλέξει αρχιτέκτονα και ζητάμε από τους αρχιτέκτονες να μας σχεδιάσουν αυτό το οποίο θεωρούμε ότι θα πάει καλά. Τι περιλάμβανε μέσα σε άκρες το brief, ποιοι είχαν εργαστεί πριν από εσάς για να σας το δώσουν. Και τώρα θα γυρίσω και στον κύριο Ραντοσάβλεβιτς. The question I asked in Greek was that before you were assigned to design this hotel, you were given a brief. Some people worked on consolidating that brief. What was in it, and what kind of people worked before you did? Would you like to add a few comments before we pass to the speakers here?
Yeah. So we started to design the hotel actually before we made an arrangement with the One Hotels. And when we started with Dimitris and his fantastic office, girls, Zoe and Lena, we together were designing the hotel with our landscaper consultant. He's part of the, informally, of the Mirum group, James Absalom. And before One Hotels was there, the idea was that the hotel would be actually more part of the landscape than the architecture. So the idea of green-friendly to be embedded in the hill nicely and to be part of the to show the respect to the terrain, to the hill, looking towards Agios Nikolos, and to design it in a sense that it's more than a landscape gesture than the architecture, was before then One Hotels came to be our partner. And then when we found One Hotels, who is the new US brand, and they're very green friendly and they're very much about sustainability, we found that it was a perfect marriage. And before all of that, we designed with WATG. This is a very famous design company which is specialized in a resorts. So we did with them master plan. Then Dimitris came in, and James. Then we did what we did, and then One Hotels came, and everything fit perfectly. Yes.
Thank you. Να περάσουμε τώρα και εδώ. Έχουμε το Διευθύνοντα Σύμβουλο της Mirum, τον Αρχιτέκτονα του Έργου και το Σύμβουλο Βιωσιμότητας. Θα απευθυνθώ στον Δημήτρη. Εφόσον το brief από την αρχή έλεγε ότι το έργο θα είναι ενταγμένο στο τοπίο, τι δημιουργική ελευθερία είχατε μετά εσείς ως αρχιτέκτονες και τι δεσμεύσεις εκ μέρους της Mirum?
First of all, I want to greet my friend Relia, who I mentioned before, the incredible guidance that we have had from Mirum. And Relia has been in the forefront of this guidance. He's a person that I trust blindly when he advises us for the route of an architectural project.
He's exaggerating.
Excuse me?
He's exaggerating.
Also, his contribution has been phenomenal because you speak about like the collaboration of different parts. Right now, there is an incredible mix of people who are working on the project. Like I mentioned before, Birovia, who are all professors in the University of Belgrade. And we have on one side the burst of creativity from Omniview, and then some people who really know very well how to construct and detail buildings. And the masterminding of this team to come together, Stephan, Gula, Birovia, us, has been from the side of Mirum, with Relia leading it to a very big extent. So because you also mentioned collaborations and the wider frame, I want to like emphasize this because it's been phenomenal So it's very nice for an architectural brand, especially when they are design oriented, because as you know, Omniview, we are basically designers. To find themselves surrounded and framed by the right network of people for something to get done properly. So I think that's great. Now I'm gonna continue in English if it's okay, so that really helps.
Υπάρχει κάποιος στο κοινό που δεν καταλαβαίνει αγγλικά, θα ήθελε μια περίληψη. Let's go on in English.
So back in the day, Mirum had actually given us the opportunity to work on a conceptual basis on different parts of the plot. And I'm going to say, it's going to sound like I'm a competitive architect, which I am, by the way, but it's back in the day, we used to make a lot of very, very conceptual ideas about how the term iposkafo could be implemented. Iposkafos that had like weird shapes, that were shells. There was a lot of like kind of, I would almost call it like maybe academic / experimental, that Mirum financed. And we generated, correct me if I'm wrong, Relia, we generated some building blocks. So what I want to comment at this stage is that Mirum had like an attitude of endorsing almost academic work, which in time turned out to be very, very important building blocks. Because today you may open Instagram and see quite a few like progressively shaped Iposkafo style projects, which I'm very happy about because I see this trend gaining ground. But back at the time, there weren't any. There simply weren't. And for me to enter this kind of realm where we design almost like by manipulating the topographic lines of the plot and just like making the building something that is not really a building but something in between landscape management and building was an idea that was cultivated in such a smooth and linear way because of Mirum's intention to finance it, that when the time of the hotel came, it was ready. We were all in the same page, building blocks were there, right? I don't know if I'm saying it correctly.
Thank you.
I just wanted to contribute real quick.
Sure.
So, actually, I'm going to point. So, you asked the question about the brief. So, in my mind, it has to go back all the way to the vision that Mr. Vitali had. So, when you look at the person behind the project, it's his vision that made it happen. In fact, Reya, I think you actually talked about it in the presentation you gave a couple of weeks ago in Piraeus at the university there, where, again, for me, sustainability was part of that initial vision, right? Otherwise, it would not have been possible at this scale.
Absolutely. They took the liberty to finance research, not just ask for a design.
So actually, there was one sentence from Mr. Borisov that was repetitively was given to all the designers and all the participants in the project, and it was that landscape is primary and architecture is secondary for the whole project. So it was very green friendly and very nature respective from its beginning.
From the outset. Έχουμε μήπως κάποιο σχόλιο από τον κύριο Αγγελιδάκη, μήπως έχουμε μία ερώτηση από το κοινό, γιατί πέρασε ο χρόνος, πέρασαν 45 λεπτά χωρίς να το καταλάβουμε. Μιλάμε για ένα τεράστιο και τρομερά σύνθετο έργο που περιμένουμε όλοι με πολύ μεγάλη αγωνία να το δούμε υλοποιημένο. Ίσως από το κοινό μας μια ερώτηση. Όχι. Λοιπόν, θέλω να σας ευχαριστήσω όλους πάρα πολύ που ήσασταν εδώ. Εύχομαι τα καλύτερα στην εξέλιξη του έργου και περιμένουμε να το δούμε να ζει.
Ευχαριστούμε.
Ευχαριστούμε πολύ.
Ευχαριστούμε.